Sulfur 9211 coming at you with another video. This video is going to be a follow-up on the deck to finish off the extra deck so we can get into the combos and then go into the classes. Basically, there's going to be quizzes and whatnot. And I plan to do a tournament in the very end. Usually, I just do it on the one-on-one with students, but this time I want us all to participate in it. I think it'd be fun. Um, so they've asked me somewhere around 60 or 70 questions in the last 3-4 days. I've responded almost all of them on Discord. The reason why I don't respond so much on the channels because it's pointless. Like, I can answer the same question 40 times in one day. Like, and then after they're gone tomorrow, they're asking me the same question somebody else. So um, if you have want information or want to know stuff, go to my Discord. I put it already 6 or 7 times on different videos. If they can't find it, well, that's not my fault. But I have to keep moving forward. There's been a lot of requests for the names because a lot of people don't know any of the cards because they've been playing what they were taught, what they were programmed, so they don't know these cards. They're actually like 50 cents cards and whatnot. You can incorporate into your deck inexpensive cards, but they're very powerful and they play top tier. You go on other people's channel, guaranteed you won't see them destroy like top tier decks with 4, 5, or 8 negations per turn against them. And my channel, they're nothing to me. All the decks that people are scared of, trash. Um, uh, it's backwards. They surrender to me. They lose connection. They don't want to deal with me because they were hoping that they ran into every other Dark Magician player, which they have brick hands and weak decks. That's why a lot of people like Dark Magician because they like to destroy. They like to destroy it. They know how easy it is, but then they run into me, and it's like they run into a wall. None of their cards work, so they just surrender. So people were telling me they don't know the cards. Can you make a list? Yeah, the list is right here. So look on the left. There's the cards, but people are not. They're not paying attention. So look, Dark Magician. Look. You see the names? The names are on there. If you know how to read, read them. If it's too fast, we'll pause it and go back. These two can be pulled out. Not even in the decks that I sold for the last 3-4 years. Nobody likes them. The only ones that get them by force are the ones that are getting like $50 to $60 decks because I can't put anything else because anything else is too expensive. I mean, one one magician souls by itself is like 50, 55. So that already they can't even get the deck, you know, because the decks are sold at 55 to 60. So I have to incorporate some of these cards. But in the top tier, you can pull them out and substitute them for other cards. But yeah, you have the restage, right hand, one circle, Mystic Mind, Eternal Soul, Imperial Custom, that can only be one, and then Skill Drain. And then to follow up today with the extra deck fusion, so we got the Dragoon. A lot of people, as soon as they took away Anaconda, they ended up leaving Dark Mission. Some people just ended up cutting Dragoon, leaving it at one. A lot of people are just playing Invoke for the substitute of the other one because it's too difficult for them. Um, I guarantee you, nobody plays a pure Dark Magician like me in all of Yu-Gi-Oh world. No one. Not in real life. You're not gonna find anybody that plays it because they don't know how to play Dark Magician. You're not gonna find a lot of things from other players. They can't draw. They don't know how to build decks. They don't know how to do combos. They don't know how to destroy all the all the negations. They don't know how to deal with the Brave Engine. They don't know how to deal with nothing. They don't know how to deal with nothing. You go on their channel, and I keep repeating myself, but it is the truth. Like, if you don't want to hear that tomorrow the sun's gonna come out again, then maybe you shouldn't be alive. Um, Nobody goes through 3 to 4 negates per turn. Show me one guy other than Paladin 19. Nobody. Nobody's got content. Nobody. I'm full of it, right? I got like 250, and that's all I do. Go through negations like crazy. Dragonite, it just became cheap. Dark Magicians, Starving Venom, Dragonstopedia. This one can be cut. Obviously, put anything else in there other than Naruto. I just put them there because sometimes when can't get the Dragoon on the first turn or something, I just rather go for like a 3 or 4 Omni Negate. This is an Omni Negate for a spell. Sometimes I play the right hand together with this, and I got 2 Omni Negate. I'll stop the first, and then I'll wait for him. And then the next turn I block it, and then I can boost, and it's easy to make with the Apprentice Illusions or the Dark Mission Girl. She finally does something. Before you XYZ, you gotta use Soul Servant, because once she goes inside for the material, it no longer counts as the field of the graveyard, so you're only gonna draw 1 for Dark Magician. If that doesn't make sense, you could just ask me the question. I can elaborate on Discord. Yeah, so you can pretty much play anything other than him. A lot of people play the Dark Charmer, so you can substitute him in there instead of him. The Access card, Phoenix, Crawling. Well, the one nobody knows. This is an old card, guys. Come on. Even though Loza will tell you you have to play this card, honestly, you don't. Not anymore. It used to be relevant before when Dark Machine needed all the help. Right now, the Moon Maiden can be cut out. You don't need her. I have several builds where it doesn't have her, and I've destroyed all sorts of top tier decks. Like, if somebody wants to challenge me, it's simple. I'll cut her out. I'll go against decks that have 3 to 4 negations per turn. I'll show you how I beat it, and then vice versa. You do the same. You cut you cut her out or leave her in, and you'll notice that you can't beat those decks, but I can easily. So why is that? Well, the first one's because you don't know how to play Dark Magician, and the second one, you don't need cards. You were just programmed to need them, but you don't need them. Moon Maiden used to be relevant, not anymore. You don't really need her. Yeah, so I used to use her with the restage for the Dragoon, but now I don't have any need for it. For the Anaconda. So you can cut her. The only way that this card is like mandatory is if you're playing an Invoked, because Alistair needs it needs it like real bad. So other than that, you don't need it. And people ask me, because the card used to be like a $5 card, and I bought a lot of them and sold a lot, and I still have like 4 copies. People are like, man, this card's already $20. And then the Celine too, they used to be $5 per card. I bought a bunch of playsets, and I ended up selling them for like $30 a card. It was a fortune. That was like more than $600 off of just a few dollars of a card. It's so funny. Because the Celine went up, skyrocketed, right? So some cards you can go without. Definitely that one you can cut. It's helpful, but it doesn't help you win the duel. Like, when people tell you, like, well, you have to, you put the card. Well, they can ask you the question, does it win the duel? The answer is no. All right, you don't need it. Can you play it? That's a different question. You can play it, but it doesn't win the duel. Um, so yeah, this is the card that nobody knows of. It's an old card that I've been using for somewhere around a year on my videos. I don't know exactly when it came out. It could be probably like 6, 8 months old, but I've been playing it for a longer time because I already know that most of these games they have cards 4 months before the release date. But I remember playing it back as far as a year ago, um, and the we're gonna go over some of the combos real quick. The Dragoon can be made in first turn through more than 14 different ways with this deck. Dragonite, the same thing. The Dark Magicians, you already know. The secrets, a Dark Magician Girl or a Dark Magician, which makes the Dark Magician Girl relevant finally. And then um, you got Starving Venom for the Super Poly. This one too. You already know that one. And then Access Code Tucker, everyone knows that one. And then the Celine, you already know the Link Climb, right? To go into Access Code Tucker. This one's when you play, there can only be one. The extra deck is already set up to link off. It's a lock combo. So basically, what there can only be one. Your opponent is locked. Like if you're going against a mirror match, that's pretty much it for him. He can't escape even Rod or anything they summon. As soon as they summon it, that's it. They're locked. You name the deck, it's locked. The only ones that are not locked are the ones that have 4 different engines. But guess what? You can lock them too by banishing the other cards with the link with the link Circle Eternal sequence. So it doesn't matter, they're locked. So this one you need it because sometimes you end up from a Dark Magician, you go to an Inmuk, so it's a dragon, and then you bring Dark Magician banish. Then you need to link those two off because you can only play one, right? So you link and you go into this, and then it breaks it, and then you can start the chain all over again. And then with the rod, by that time you'll get the rod and you'll enter the loop. And that's just one of the combos. Like it has like 6, 7, or 8 different combos into that loop. But then that's just one of the combos. You still have over like 160 different other combos that the deck is able to do. Like entering a Dragoon. You can even get rid of there can only be one with the Magician Souls. I showed people, like, I'm in full control. Like, I decide if there's any effects. I also decide if there's any monsters. And then when it's my turn, I just Magician Souls, discard them to draw, open the field up, and then I just board out 5 OTK. It's sick, man. You're full control. There's nothing your opponent can do. A lot of people are smart. Like as soon as they see 3, 4 different combos active or 3, 4 negations, they just surrender. They lose connection. I don't blame them because it saves me time because I want to duel another again. So it's so OP. Um, so then after that, where did it go? Oh, here it is, the Crawly engine. So the way that works is you normal a monster, then special the second one. If they neither were negated, but more likely they were, if you weren't able to bait the negation and use effects like a Dragoon or Called by the Grave or Seravis to like negate their negate, you link climb and you go into Crawly, and it gets you access into your spellbook engine straight from your deck, and you're able to draw 2 more cards. And from those 2 cards that you draw, you're able to elaborate and draw more cards and just establish more negates on the field. So it's like that's why I say like it's no matter what your opponent does, it's all pointless because with all those cards and stuff that you draw, you're gonna end up drawing into stuff to summon Dragoon, a Circle Eternal, and something else. Like usually 2 to 3 combos, and your opponent already lost 2 cards because they used 2 cards to negate. If you don't believe me, look at my duels. Like they play in Infinite Impermanence and like anything else, like Ash, Effect Veiler, or anything, Ghost Spell. It doesn't matter. They play it, and it's all for nothing because they get burned. I still draw everything I was gonna draw. It's like they never even played them. Then when they go, I have 4 negations, 3 to 4 negations, and they started with 5. They lost 2 cards. They have 3. So when they draw again, They have four. I have four negations and they have four cards. They already figured it out. They just lose connection or surrender. There's nothing they could do. And then that's just the beginning. I can establish more negations as the duel goes by. Um, yeah, so it's a good card. Um, I taught it to a lot of players. Z Holy uses it a lot, and he does really good with it too. Um, remember, yeah, remember to like even if it's your hand's pretty bricky, you can try to link climb to get the Crawly to draw more cards, and it dumps those cards in the graveyard. The whatever they didn't choose, they go back to the deck. But I mean, if you drew the secrets, you can draw secrets to knowledge and then knowledge to play and then draw two. So essentially, you drew um, four cards. Because secrets to knowledge is one, and then knowledge you play it, draws two. That's three, and the card that card itself is the fourth. And then from those cards that you drew, you should be able to draw more. Because everything's draw. If you pay attention, look, we'll go through it. So this one's draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23. You got 23 draw cards to put it in perspective. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The first two rows, which would mean 50% of the deck is draw power. Now here's the interesting part. Some of those cards, they actually draw double card. Like so Servants, Spellbook Engine draws a maximum of 5 cards. And then the Magician Souls. So in reality, it's not times 2. It's almost like times 3, because some of these cards draw 3 cards or 2 cards um, instead of just 1. So you're thinking like, oh, 50% of it and it draws 1 card. That's just 20 cards. So it can draw the rest of your deck. No, it actually draws more than that, because some other cards draw 2. So 20 times 2. So there you go. So 50% of the deck is draw power, and most of the majority of those cards draw 2 cards. And this is why by your second turn, you already have 15 cards left in your deck. It's like it's so easy to understand, but people are not smart. They don't know how to play Dark Magician. The only thing they know is whatever the the popular YouTubers program them to know. They know what they know, and that's it. But yeah, the deck is 50% draw power, and most of the cards draw 2. So you can draw the whole entire deck. Just by changing a few cards, honestly, you could draw 30 cards your first turn. But the real reason why I don't switch it to like draw too many, because you need power in combos. But you're welcome to elaborate. You can include chicken game at 3, and then you can bring um, goblin at 3. But I think goblin can only be played at 1 here. Um, but there's so many other cards that you can play to draw, like the pot cards, pot of avarice, pot of extravagance. Excuse me. All the pots. You could play Allure Darkness. I don't recommend it, but you could play it. You could play 2 or 1. Um, and you could draw like crazy. If you want, you could draw your whole deck your first turn. The problem is if you don't OTK your opponent the first turn, you're gonna top deck. Um, so definitely be careful with that. So yeah, so the yeah, the combo with that is first turn Dragon Knight first turn as well. So many ways to make it. The Dark Magicians, it's not a top tier card, but it's a draw card. If you could draw from it, it's excellent. Stacking the Soul Servant and drawing exactly what you want, then activate it in your graveyard um, to draw two more. It's so broken. It goes perfectly well with the Eternal Soul. You trigger a Dark Magic attack, and then you activate Magician Souls, and it draws again. And if you draw like a skill drain, it'll set it in the field, and it's broken. And then these are super poly combos. This one your no combo, and that one I just told you right now. You can enter it through two spellcasters at any point in the duel, and you just get the spellbook engine from your deck. It comes out, and your opponent selects one card, gives it to your hand. A lot of people tell me like, no, there's this 75% chance that you don't get what you want. Those people, they don't know how to play Dark Magician, because that's a lie. You can special summon twice, and that means you haven't normal summoned yet. So it doesn't matter what card you do, you're gonna draw 5. And that includes the 2 that you already special. Usually the cards that you special, they draw more cards. And then from all those cards that you drew, you could draw more. And with all the cards that you drew, I've shown you so many times before, shuffling the deck, and then you get to see if you drew like 10 cards. So you drew the first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you drew 10. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Man, that's broken. You drew all kinds of crazy cards. From there, you can enter Dragoon, um, Dragon Knight. You can set the Circle Eternal, Mystic Mind. There's too much going on. The Illusion of Chaos. Wow. So you see what I mean? It's like, it's really broken. Very easy to. A lot of cards are inexpensive, but people are not smart, right? All you want to do is spend a lot of money on a deck that will never win. It's just like everybody else. So, yeah, the Emok, you should already know the combo, and then the Moon Maiden is not so relevant as it was before. But like I said, if you play an invoked engine, then yeah, there's life or death that you play. But other than that, you don't need her. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. If you look at the bottom, there's just some leftover cards that you might think about playing. Dark Ruler No Mores or whatever. I main deck the deck as it is, and I almost never side deck. It's sufficient for everything. Back roll, out to guys, you name it. If you notice, I'm not side decking. I just take it all with the main deck. It doesn't matter what it is, it's gonna get bombed on. And because I elaborate correctly, and all these other people, like, they have to side deck every other time, and they don't know what they're doing. So that's pretty much it, you guys. We covered the whole entire deck. After this, I guess we're gonna do the combos, quizzes, and whatnot. So with that being said, Dark Magic Attack.